Okay, so for this question, we'll be applying the replacement concept. Okay, when you know that I'm applying this replacement concept means you can see that I'm converting an item to become the other item number or amount as well. So it's between the pens and erasers. Means I'm converting either the erasers to become all pens, or I'm converting all pens to become all erasers. Understand? So that is what we call replacement concept. I'm replacing one item with the other item that's given in the question. Okay? So what will I be replacing? Let's read the question first. Lindy spent 1/5 of her pocket money, so she spent on 7 pens and 4 erasers. The cost, so this one is they are talking about how much of her money that did she spend. So you know that from this sentence, she spent 1 unit of her money. Her total money is 5 units. Yes, so we keep it aside. That is the spending part of Lindy. Now, the second sentence, nothing to do about what she spent, but they tell us about the cost of the pen was twice the cost of each eraser. Different, right? Now I'm talking about the comparison between the pen cost and the erasers cost, right? Then when it comes to the third line, she bought a few more pens with 2/3 of her remaining money. So the remaining means, remember the first part she spent something. So when I spend something in the first part to buy that pen and eraser, I have a leftover. That leftover is the remainder in this part there for the third line. Okay, how many pens did she buy altogether? Means the one that she bought at first, and then when she bought a few more, right? She bought twice, right? Pens is one if she buy pens and eraser. Second one if she just buy pens only. Okay. So let's go on to the question. So I want to work on with the cost of each pen was twice the cost of each eraser, because that one is not clear. What does it mean by that? The pen is 2 unit, the cost, as compared to eraser 1 unit. Like that, right? So I can write it down. Cost of one pen, and then here cost of uh one eraser. Okay, like that. So cost of one pen is actually equal to two erasers. Cost of one pen is equal to the cost of two erasers. Okay, so right now if you look at the question, she bought how many pens? She bought 7 pens. 7 pens is equal to how many erasers? So if you look 1 and 7, the relation is you have to times 7 here. So over here, you must also do the same thing. 2 times 7. So in other words, it's actually like ratio lah. 1 is to 2. So if I have 7, 7 is to 14. Like ratio, right? There's a relationship there. So equals to 14 erasers. Okay? So that part I'm clear. I know that what it means is, what I understand is 7 pens is equal to 14 erasers. Okay? Take note of this. Now, let's move on. We know that she spent something, right? I want to find the remainder. I want to find the remainder because from there, then I know how much she bought some more pens with. Okay, so the remainder is equals to, you can either take 5 unit minus 1 unit equals to, the remainder is 4 units, or you can use fraction, 1 whole minus 1/5 equals to 4/5. From here, you can also tell that this one is her remainder. Okay, then this one is her total. Or you can just take it as it is, 4/5. Up to you, which one you feel comfortable. Okay, so in this case, we know the remainder already. Let's move on. 2/3, she bought a few more pens with 2/3 off. Off means time, simply means time. So I'm gonna stick to my fraction. Okay, so I want to know fraction of money spent on additional pens. fraction of money, because the remainder I leave it as fraction, and then I spend 2/3 of the remainder on extra pens. So I'm just going to leave it as remainder first. Okay, I don't want to convert as unit first. Leave it everything to fraction first. Okay, so I have 2/3 of remainder equals to 2/3 times the remainder is 4/5. You take your calculator, you press, and then you're going to get 8/15. This 8/15 is what she bought with for the extra pen. She bought the extra pen for the pens at 8/15. Okay, so now if I go back to the fraction just now, this 1/5. This is what she spent in the first place, right? This is what she spent in the first place. The one that I say spend just now. Spend on what? These two, the erasers and the pen, right? So if you look at this 8/15, this is unit, this is unit. The total is already changed. This is the total money, right? So the total have already changed. So in this case, my 1/5 that I spent just now, you need to change the denominator also. This is unit, this is unit. The unit is no longer the same. Remember, this is my total. So this one, my 5 is my total also, but the total is not the same. So change it first. Times 3 times 3 equals to 3 units over 15 units, like that. Okay, so we are done with this. We know that she spent this much for the extra pens, additional pen, and you know that she spent this much, 3/15, for the 7 pens and 4 erasers. Now, what do we do? Let's use the other space here. So I want to focus on erasers. Okay, so erasers is, if you look at the 7 pens, remember this one I put the asterisk there, 7 pen is equal to 14 erasers. So this one I change to erasers also. This is my replacement. Okay, what I did here was I changed my pens to become erasers. So this is the replacement. I changed my pens to become erasers. So the total erasers in this case will be, if I know from my from what I find out just now, 7 pens is 14 erasers, so it's 14 plus 4 erasers equals to 18 erasers. Okay, and then you know that from the, if I want to draw out my model to represent, okay, initially I have only 5 parts, right? But then the 5 parts later become 15 parts, correct? So I'm gonna change, I'm gonna cut up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm gonna cut each of the parts into 3 so that I can change it to 15, because that's what I did. What I changed it to 15. Can you see? This is just to show you via model what I mean by all those units, like that. Okay, so I know that my erasers here is what she spent. Okay, she spent this much, the erasers. Okay, this is what she spent on erasers. And how many units is that? 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the one. So this is spent on erasers. Then you see that this is what she spent. Okay, on additional pen. So I can also highlight my additional pens in my model. There is 8 unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is additional pens. Okay. This is 3 unit, this is 8 unit, just to put on top there so you all can see. The total is 15 units. If you count all my model parts, right, it's 15 units already. Now, I can work with this. I can work with 3 unit is, these are erasers. How many erasers do I have? 18. Is 18 erasers. 1 unit means 18 divided by 3 equals to 6 erasers. I want to know my pens. Focus on the pens, right? So additional pen, can I go and find first? The additional pen unit is 8 units. So 8 unit is 8 times 6 equals to 48. Okay? This is what we are looking for, additional pens. Not done yet. Remember, if you go back to the ratio just now I say, this one. 1 pen is equal to 2 erasers. Now, right now, I have 48 pens, right? So 48, oh sorry, erasers, this is erasers. not pen. 48 erasers. So erasers. Okay, so 48 erasers is what she have from the additional pen. If I convert them to become erasers, I get 48 erasers. Now I want to convert back into pens. So 48 pen is equal to how many pens? This is what I want to know. Okay, so how many pens? What do I do? One pen is two erasers. So if I want to know my 48 erasers, what do? I take 48 divided by 2 to get my number of pens. So 48 divided by 2, I get 24 pens. Why? From this ratio. Okay, that ratio. Now, if I know that I have 24 pens that was bought additional, okay, this is my extra pen, additional pens. And then at first I bought 7 pens. Total pens will be 24 plus 7 equals to 31 pens. That's it. Okay.